There it goes.
There we go.
And I'm trying to go live on Instagram.
There you go. Mine's
There
is
it is. Yay! All right, we are live on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram
yeah.
and Facebook. All right, we're going to go ahead and start. Good Sunday afternoon. Thank you all for being here. My name is Shanti Refuge. I am a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author. And I help women to release, heal, and live their best lives through guided journaling. And I have with me today Miss Keisha Mason Campbell. Introduce yourself, boo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. My name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am an author. I am a consultant. I am a certified life coach. Oh my gosh, have so many hats, right? Um, I am a podcaster, and we show up to be able to help women. For me, help you to be able to prioritize yourself and to be able to set and implement healthy boundaries. That is what I do. That is who I am, and that is how I help you with that journey and to be able to prioritize yourself.
Awesome. So we came together because we wanted to talk about some issues that us women tend to go through every dang on day, almost just about. So we entitled this live "Quiet is Kept." It's not your
Journey to take.
turn to take. Okay.
Yes.
So what was the purpose for you for this live? What was the purpose? What do you hope to get out of this?
I hope to be able to serve the people that are listening to us. And my goal is to be able to reach some of those people that are sitting there and having some doubts. People who are sitting there thinking, wow, I'm always putting everybody first, and I don't know how to put myself first. I don't know how to prioritize me. I'm hoping to be able to reach a lot of those women for them to realize that you can put yourself first. You can prioritize yourself. It is not as difficult as it feels. It feels difficult because we have been trained almost to always take care of
Brainwash.
everybody. You always hear people say, women are nurturers, women are nurturers. We are, but we can't take care of people if we haven't taken care of ourselves, right? We can't,
Absolutely.
if we haven't put ourselves first and prioritize us, how can I, in a healthy space, take care of others? So I'm hoping that the women and men, if they're listening as well, learn how to prioritize the women in your life and allow your women to prioritize themselves and allow the women to learn how to prioritize themselves, to know that no is a complete sentence. Know that once you take care of you, your cup will be so full that it runneth over, that you can take care of everybody else. You can help everybody without losing who you are and whose you are.
Say that part again, because that's what we do. We are so focused on helping this person, helping this, whether it's at home, at work, church, friends, family, whatever. And what's left for us? Nothing. And then
Nope.
we're labeled, burned out, bitter, angry, yeah, because we
Or
ain't
the
got no
mad
time
black
for
woman.
ourselves. Oh, yeah, because we don't have any time for ourselves. But we are about to change that narrative today. The first thing that we're gonna talk about three things today. We're gonna talk about setting boundaries and saying no,
Yeah.
empowerment through self care and compassion, and the intersection of mental health and personal growth. So, we're going to get with Keisha's favorite topic, setting boundaries and saying no. So, let's go.
Yeah, so let's get into that one. A lot of people don't know how to set boundaries. And when you talk about setting boundaries, people get confused. Some people think of boundary setting as a defense, like you're setting boundaries because you don't want to do something. That's not what it is. If I am busy and I have all the things going on in my life, I need to tell somebody no. I have to say no at some point in time. I've got to find enough time to put myself first, recharge myself, right? So if I am prioritizing me, then I've got to learn how to set those boundaries. And I have a framework that I call put a lid on it. Listen, identify, decide. And when you are putting that lid on it, right? A lid is like a hat, right? You putting that lid on it, you're stopping it. It's all over. Like we're gonna do an experiment in a minute, right? You're gonna put a top on, you're
Yes.
gonna put a lid on it. So you're gonna listen, identify, define, and decide. That is what lid mean. And we played on the D's to make it two D's, right? Instead of just the lid when you go to the stores, you just see the cap and it's LID. Ours is LIDD. So you're gonna listen, identify, define, and decide. And you got to identify, where do I need to put myself first? Identify, are those things necessary in my life that everybody is calling me to do? Do I need to go grocery shopping for everybody every week? Do I need to wash everybody's clothes, or do I teach people how to wash their clothes? Do I show up for everybody as a taxi cab, or do I tell you, hey, save your money, call you an Uber, or let somebody else take you? Right? We can have a shared experience. I don't have to be there for all the things. And as women, you don't have to be there for all the things. Find a balance. And that's where boundaries come in. So boundaries are not there to harm the loved ones that are around you, but boundaries are there to protect you. Setting
Absolutely.
those boundaries protect you and protect your well-being. So saying no and knowing that that is a complete sentence is a great way to show up for yourself, not to harm anybody, but to show up for you. And you still can do things out of love
So,
and
and
kindness.
you are correct. Hmm.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So, what do you have to say to women who find it hard to prioritize themselves? Because, like you said earlier, we were raised to put everybody before us. If we don't put everybody before us, then we're being selfish. But look what that
Yeah.
where that got us. So, what do you say to women who grew up listening to that?
I tell women that has grown up listening to, you are the nurturer, you are the one to take care of everybody. It is your responsibility. I tell you to, first of all, determine what is your responsibility. Identify what your responsibilities are, right? Identify those things, because a lot of times we take on responsibilities that are ours. We just take this on, we take that on, and it's just like it's almost like it's like a robot. We robots up in here working it out, right? And you just take on these things. So if you identify what you're responsible for, identify what you're supposed to be doing, right? So listen
Hmm.
to yourself, listen to your body, listen to what you have going on, and then identify all those things. Write it down if you need to, because sometimes you got to write the vision and make it plain so that you can see. So if that's the case,
Absolutely.
write it down, all the things that you're responsible for. So you're going to listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to what's going on around you, and identify those things. And then most times we need to write it down. Then you're going to define what parts of it really affects you. What part of it affects you? If you don't say yes, you don't say no, you don't do anything, will that activity still get done? Will that person still succeed? Will that person still go where they need to go? If that is a yes for any of those, then you don't have a ball in that game. Let it go. Let it go. And it's hard to do. I know in the beginning it's hard, but you'll learn. And then you'll decide, right? That's the last D. You'll decide what you need to be a part of.
So you just read me my rights
Uh
because
oh.
sometimes I do feel like, if asks me to do something, or sometimes I take it upon myself to be like, oh, let me go ahead and do it because if I don't do it, it's not gonna get done, and it doesn't even have anything to do with me.
So I have a
And
question for you. Why
yeah,
why do you feel that way?
what way?
Why do you feel if you don't do it, it won't get done? Because we take that on.
Because it won't.
But why?
Because it won't. Because history, especially when it comes to family, it won't get done, or it won't get done correctly, or it'll get done at the last minute, or it would be half-ass done. So
That part.
I rather just step in and be like Captain Save 'em, and normally it be for the sake of the children.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn with some gentle guidance from my wife that ain't your business. Leave it alone. Let them take care of it. If it don't happen, it don't happen. And my anxiety flares up when I do that though, because it's like, oh my God, I could have did. And when I see the outcome, I'm like, oh man, I could have did this. This would have been so much better, or this would have happened on time. I don't know. I
So
guess
I
I
have a
had
follow-up question for you.
okay.
So we identified the fact that you feel like it's not going to get done or not going to get done right, although it has nothing to do with you and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
get done whether you participate or not. What
Possibly.
lessons, what lessons are your loved ones learning if you do it all for them? Like how can they learn anything if we being Captain Save out my loved one, right? And you like how I threw that in there? You Captain
Yeah, I
Save my
love
loved
that.
one and you know it's going to get done regardless. You know that the outcome is going to be the outcome. But what lesson have they learned that they could do better the next time if you do, Captain, I'm going to save my loved one? Like, how does that balance out?
The only thing they learning is to call me. Call me next time. Call me for the next thing. And that's not the lesson I need them to learn. I've recently had to say no about something, and it hurt my feelings. It made my stomach hurt, but I stuck to my no, and everybody's
Good.
well. So yeah, it's hard. It is very hard to say no. Um, I find it. I used to find it hard to say no to everybody, family,
Mhm.
friends, people, whatever, relationships, and again, my lovely wife has taught me boundaries. She like, why are you inserting yourself in this? This ain't got nothing to do with you. Let them deal with it. Let them figure it out. They don't need to keep running to you or whatever. And I just felt like I was always the responsible one.
Yes.
And so the responsible one, the what's that word? The one that shows up
The
even
go-to
when,
person.
yeah, and it's like, but I had to think about it. Like, if something happened with me, can I go to them?
And what
No,
was that answer? Okay. See?
no, I know I can't. I know I can't. Or, if I can, they wouldn't give me the help that I would give them if the tables were turned. So
Yeah.
I had to, sit back and, think about things instead of quick yes, because I'm good for quick yeses. But now I have to stop and think, you know,
So you go
what,
from quick
how is
yeses
this
to
going to
slow
benefit me?
nose.
No, I do fast nose now. I do. Fast no. Nope. Nope. I'll say no quick. And then let's talk about how a person is used to being a people pleaser. We're used to this. And now we're saying, hey, this is my boundary. It's one thing to write your boundary down and you have to mean it. You got to commit to it. But now, what about telling this person or these people what your boundaries are? That is very hard because either if you have people like, who there are some people who will laugh at you and be like, "Ah, girl, quit playing,"
Right.
but you dead serious, and it'll be people say, "Okay, I respect that," and then there'll be the same people that'll say, "Okay, I respect it," and then test you 5 minutes
Right.
later on what you
Right.
just said. So
See,
that makes a person anxious when you want to, you know, communicate your boundaries to them, and that waiting for their response. Their response is scary. It could be scary because that's when you find out who is for you and who's just using you,
right.
pretty much.
Right. And so let's talk about that. When people become dismissive of your boundaries, to me, that's no respect for you. That
Hmm.
they're not respecting you. They may not see it as being disrespect because they're so used to the old you. They're so used to you saying no, but doing it anyway. Not right now, but doing it anyway. Or saying, next time I'm not going to do, I'm going to do it this time, but next time I'm not going to do it. So either
Hmm.
way, it still gets done. So when they become dismissive, when you stick to your no, you stick into your boundaries. And when they are dismissive about that, to me, that's a form of disrespect. Because if I'm telling you no, respect me in my no. Whether I mean it or not, respect me in my no. Excuse me. And that's only fair. It's
Hmm.
unfair for you to challenge me and challenge my no. It's like you're saying, um, I'm not a whole person and I can't be in charge of myself, that I got to do what you say, when and how you say it. And that's not fair. My no is to protect me and who I am and whose I am. And that means that if my no is my no, is my no. And you should respect that and be okay with that. And a lot of times they don't. They want to dismiss it. They want to
Mm.
challenge it. They want to not believe it, or they want to come back and ask you in about 5 or 10 minutes to see if your no has changed. And you're like,
Yo,
wait a minute.
didn't I say no? No. And, for those watching, you have to understand that no is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone an explanation,
Nope.
even if they ask you for one. No,
Right.
no,
Exactly. And
period.
I think that's hard for a lot of people. For a
It
lot of
is.
people listening to us and a lot of people watching the replay, it's difficult to say no and just sit in it because you're having a conversation. So say you and I having a conversation and I'm asking something of you, Shanti, and you're like, no. And I'm like, really? No? Well, how come?
No.
Your response shouldn't be a whole explanation as to why. It should be, I said no. No, no means no. What don't you understand the N of the O, right? That's what my mom used to say. What don't you understand the N of
Mhm.
the O?
And then they get mad thinking you got an attitude. But okay, I said no, and you act like you didn't hear me the first time.
Right.
Or asking the same kind of question in a different way, thinking you're gonna get a different answer. No, no is no. And you have
Yeah,
to stand on your no, no matter if anyone tries to manipulate you or guilt you into changing your mind. If no is your answer, then let your no mean no, and your yes mean yes.
absolutely. And I think, and I'm not going to say I think I know because I've been there. You say no, you say not right now, you say I don't want to, or whatever way you say no, and people challenge it. And you're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Do you not respect me? Or as
Nope.
a family member, do you not love me and who I am? Like, why are we here and why am I explaining? I don't ask you to explain your no. If you tell me no, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, oh, you okay over there?
Yes. What you drop? Oh, my wife in here watching, and she dropped something. It scared the shit out of me. I'm sorry.
She okay?
Yes. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just saw
Jumped out
you
of
jump. I didn't know what was
I
going
almost
on.
jumped out of my wig. Shit. It genuinely scared me. It did. And I don't scare easily like that, but that scared me. I don't know. I don't know if I thought she fell or whatever, but anyway, okay. So continue.
So I was just saying how people, when you give them the no, your no is a complete sentence.
Mhm.
Explanations are not required or necessary unless you want to give one. But don't start anything you can't finish, right? Meaning that if you say no and that's it and that's all, when they come back and ask you again for something else and you want to say no, but now you want to give an explanation, and the third time they come, they're going to expect the explanation because that's comfortable for them. People expect you to conform to them and conform to what's comfortable for them and not really considering you and where you're coming from and how you're feeling, or given the fact that just no means no.
You
They
better
want
say.
you to conform.
All right. So, Keisha, do you have an example, a personal experience from where you had to set a boundary and how that impacted your mental health?
Ooh, I got a lot, so we'll just use one. So we'll say this: when two of my six brothers were incarcerated, it was heavy, right? Because I can't control anything, I can't do anything, I can't help them, I can't save them, I can't go pick them up, I can't bring them home, I can't do any of those things, right? And so that was a like a mental like it wore me out, right? It wore me out because it was nothing I could do, right? I love all six of my brothers, but the two that were in prison, it was nothing I could do for them. But then you're sending money for the canteen and you're doing all those things. You're sending money for the phone, and I'm already worrying about you in there now, and that's emotional, right? Mental and
Mhm.
physical. Now we
Mhm.
got the financial piece going on. So then you're pulling at everything I got. And listen, I had to say no. And not only did I say no, I started making them pay for their money. So when they say, Key, can you send me $100? Say Western Union is $7. $93 is what they got.
Absolutely.
Because for me, I shouldn't have to take on all the things. Then instead
Mhm.
of sending you money like all during the month, I started sending money once a month, unless there was something going on. I will only send
Mhm.
money once a month. I had to protect my mental. I had to set the boundaries and let you know that no. So if they called outside of my regiment, the answer was no. Don't ask me again. Let that last you, and I'll talk to you next month. Well, I probably talked
Mhm.
to them before then, but I wouldn't send you
Right.
anything. So I had to
Right.
transition to that, but it took years to get there.
Mhm.
Years, right? And I don't mean like 1 and 2 years. I'm talking like 5, 7, like years.
Mhm.
And once I started doing that, I started realizing, oh my gosh, I got all kinds of extra money, all kinds of extra time. I started realizing that I was giving them a lot, but I love my brothers, all six of them. I love them dearly. And it's nothing that I wouldn't do, but I needed to put me first. I needed to
Exactly.
focus on me. So when I set those
Exactly.
boundaries, they weren't that happy. Like one of them was like, "Oh, you out there and I'm in here, and if I need you should send it to me." Is that right? Is that right? I'll send it to you next month
Guilt and manipulation. Yes,
all
that's
day.
good. I would. Yes, Lord. I know my example. I think there's only one person who I would never say no to, and that was my mama.
Yeah.
And it took. I think I just started saying no to her maybe a couple of years ago. Like
Yeah.
I would do whatever she wanted me to do, even if I didn't want to do it, because in my mind, that's your mama. You're supposed to do for your mama, and I had to get snapped out of there real quick.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
remember the first time I told her no, I cried.
Yeah.
I cried. I felt like I did something so wrong because I said no. But I mean, I stood by it though. I didn't let anybody change my mind,
Good for
but
you.
that was hard. And,
Yes.
but I felt so much better afterwards. And then I just started
Yes.
saying no to everybody. No, no to you, no to you, and no to everybody.
And it
It's like
felt good, didn't it?
it felt wonderful. Like I just say no, no,
It
no,
releases a
no.
burden. And people don't
Yes,
realize
it
that. And
does.
not that the people are a burden, because the people aren't a burden. The situation becomes a burden on you. And you have to figure out
Absolutely.
how to work that out so that you're not stressed out. And I think people just don't understand, if I take this on, this is a lot. Like life is already life. And now I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking on what you got going on. And that's a
When you
lot.
don't have to, yeah, especially when you don't have to.
Yep,
It's
that part.
a gift, not a given. You know,
Yep.
and a lot of people find it hard to determine, get a distinction between the two. So,
Hmm.
okay, so we clear on boundaries, y'all. Say no
Yes.
if it does not resonate with you. If it don't fit into your whatever you got going on, say no.
And
Just
stick
say
to
no.
it.
And yeah, stick to your no. Let your no be your no. And
Yes,
whoever feel a way about it, that's their problem, not yours.
absolutely.
Simple. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is empowerment through self-care and self-compassion.
Yes. So I think a lot of people think of self care as the mani, the pedis, the massages, and all the things. But if your mental isn't right, if your emotional isn't set, right, all those things you're getting done, that's just physical, right? That's the outside looking great and the inside is tore up. So that self care needs to come from the inside out, right? And you have to focus on being able to care for yourself. What works for you? Is it meditation? Is it prayer? Is it journaling? Self-care are all those things. And I know Shanti, you about to hit it on this journaling thing. You about to hit it.
You already know I'm about to. Yes, people think, and I used to be one of those people who would think that self care was the mani pedi, massages, spa days. I used to think that. That's not what that is. I had to learn what that
No.
is. That is actually self maintenance
Yes.
because you are taking care of your outside. Self care is journaling, taking care of your mind, getting that excess baggage, those excess thoughts, those traumas that you have sitting in your head every day that playing with every day, is getting that out of your head. Like get it onto paper. Self care is, you know, therapy, coaching,
Yes.
journaling, Exercise because you're taking care. Yeah, you're gonna be fine afterwards, but you're taking care. People don't understand how just simple exercises like walking.
Yes.
Walking outside. Nobody said, nobody said you had to be in the gym 18 hours a
Mm-mm.
day. Some people, if that's what works for you, that works for you. But, somebody like me, I have learned about yoga. Yoga
Mm-hmm.
relaxes the hell out of me. I love yoga. It helps me to release,
Yes.
because it's not just the stretching and the poses, but, we're also doing meditation, we're doing affirmations, so all of those things that I just said, those contribute to your self-care, which is taking care of your inside, taking care of your
Yes.
mind, your thoughts, especially if you have been diagnosed with mental illness or if you're going through anxiety or depression. Those are some holistic coping mechanisms that you can use every day, and it don't cost nothing because people quick to say it costs too much to take care of your mental health.
No, it doesn't.
But you had $100 for this pedicure. You had $100 for these nails that only gonna last 2 weeks.
Right.
You bought that cute wig, that cute outfit that you only gonna wear one time because everybody saw you in it. And but
Right.
these exercises, these coping strategies are free. It's or
Absolutely.
damn near free. It's nothing to go buy a $20 journal from ShantiRefugeJournals.com and start journaling.
There you go. There you go.
Read self-help books. Both Keisha and I have, books that you can actually sit down and read, and you
Yes.
have workbooks to go with them. So,
Yes.
and then we're gonna talk about it at the end, but I'm just saying, there are people make time for what they want to make time for, and you
Yes.
spend your money on what you want to spend your money on. But people rarely think about their mental health until something happens.
That is
It makes
absolutely
them have
correct.
to, yeah, and that makes them like me, for example. I tell my story of how I had a nervous breakdown in 2018. Before that, I wasn't caring about my mental health. I was so
Yeah.
busy trying to look cute, because I didn't think anything was wrong with me. But
Yeah.
you could be the bomb on the outside, but what about your inside? You
That's
know,
right.
take care of your inside so that can shine through and enhance that outside.
That's right. And I am a firm believer of that. And I'm gonna share a funny story about yoga. So the first time I was introduced to yoga, I they did one of these DVDs. You order late at night, you on the TV
Yes.
back in the days, and you order it and you get the DVD, right? And I had never did yoga before, and this is going back probably a little bit more than 10 years, I think. I was a lot younger, right? And you have so much going on. Your mind is constantly going. You're busy. You're busy. You're busy. So I popped in the DVD. I bought the whole yoga mat. I had the whole outfit. I was ready for yoga. And I'm gonna tell you, yoga slows you down so much, so much, and it helps you to learn to relax and helps you to become one.
Yep.
Shanti, I became one so much so I fell asleep doing yoga. When I woke up, the credits was rolling on the TV.
Good. Good. You were in Shavasana. Yep. Good.
So
Good.
I want to tell you, like, yoga, it is definitely something I think all people should try. I mean, it's not for everybody, but try it. Like, you go out here and try this new outfit, you try this new wig, you try this new man, you try this new whatever. Try
Say that again.
something. Try something that's gonna help you out, right? And I think with the
Yeah.
yoga, for me, it was good. But I
Hmm.
promise you, when I woke up, the credits were rolling on the
Your
TV. I'm like,
mind and your body was tired, and
yes,
that happens. And yoga does slow you down. It does,
yes,
but it's in a good way though, because we don't
yes,
take time for ourselves. We don't take time to relax. We don't take time to be with our thoughts.
nope,
We are always trying to distract ourselves. That's
yes,
why we're moving all the time, moving, 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 moving. But them thoughts still gonna be there.
it
And
is.
things like yoga and meditation, you know,
Yes,
uh, breath work, things like
yes.
that, it will make you, get in tune with yourself so you can release all that stuff instead of letting it pile up.
And people don't see that. They don't, like you said, until something happens,
Yeah.
right? And for me, nothing happened. I just happened to be up late. I just saw the infomercial and I was like, oh, Let me order the DVDs. Let me see what's up with yoga.
When you should have been asleep.
Yes, exactly.
That's
And
how
I
they
mean,
get
it was
you.
cool. And but it was a good move, right? I had the whole mat. I mean, I was ready. And I didn't know I fell asleep until I woke up. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even know
You
I
are
had fell
relaxed as
asleep.
hell. Do you still have these DVDs? That's all I want to know.
I don't. I don't. I don't. Uh-uh. I was living in Las Vegas at the time, so when I moved, I didn't bring like everything with me back to Virginia. But listen, you know what? I'm gonna check because I do have a bunch of the DVDs. After this call, I'm gonna go check. I am going to go check. But it
All
was
right.
good, and I would encourage anybody to, if you if you don't want to spend any money on your mental health, right? Because you're doing all the things. You got YouTube University, YouTube TV,
Y'all
YouTube,
Google
YouTube, YouTube.
everything else. Exactly.
Absolutely. Just do something simple. The breathing exercises Shanti talked about. You can do the
Yeah.
poses. You can do all the things for free. And if you
Yep.
like it, then find you a local yoga studio and you can go do it with other people and you can fellowship and yoga, do the
Exactly.
yoga. So it's there and you should really do it, especially if you're not a person that wants to be in a gym. Like me, I'm not a gym rat, right?
Yeah, no,
I'll
me neither.
walk, yeah, I'll walk, I'll do some yoga, I'll do some stuff like that. But the gym is not for me.
Yes, amen to that. So, what do you do for self care?
Oh, I do a number of things. So prayer is one.
Absolutely.
Uh, Journaling is another one. I love to read, and I also listen to like audiobooks. Um,
Me too.
my most recent one was Tabitha Brown. I did a new thing, and it
Oh,
was great. I have the hard copy. I went to go see her in Richmond. I took my goddaughter, and my goddaughter won the contest to get the makeover. It was so awesome,
really?
and we met
Cool.
Miss Tabitha and her family. It was her birthday, February 4th. It was her
Oh,
birthday.
awesome.
And so, also, although I had the hard copy, because as women and individuals, we're always so busy. I like the audibles because I get to multitask. And her
Mm,
audible is only like 4.5 hours, so I listened to it in a day. And I
wow.
think it was just last Thursday or Friday. I just listened to it, and it was great. And she talks about 30 days and the different things that she did, and I was like, so familiar because for my birthday is in November. For 30 days, I celebrate me. And no, it's not always monetary, but for 30 days, I do something for me. Whether I'm going for a walk because I want to, I'm taking myself out to a lunch or taking myself out to dinner or buying me a nice gift. Don't always have to be expensive on every day, but an
Right.
expensive gift, a book, or just every day, I do something for Keisha, right? For 30 days. And I've been doing that for years. And all of my friends be like, when's your birthday? November, right? Not no date. November.
November.
The month. Yes.
The whole entire month of November. I get it.
So when she
For
did
me,
that, I thought that
um,
that's what she did. She did the whole 30
oh,
days.
that's what she did for hers. I have her Audible. I started it and stopped it because I started reading I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy.
Oh,
And it's not what you think it is, but that
okay.
title, that title makes you think, who could be glad their mom died? But once you read,
Right.
that book was so good and it resonated with me so much that I think I want to read it again. It was
Wow.
very good. But I just finished it and now I'm reading Power Moves by Sarah Jakes Roberts. I went to go
Yes.
see her on her book tour when she came to, well, she's out of Dallas. Her first stop of her tour was in Houston. So I saw her there and got an autographed copy of her book. So I'm just starting to read her book now about, making power moves and,
Okay.
basically building confidence, building my confidence. So, I could be everywhere, even more
That's
so.
right. That's right. And I love Sarah. I love her.
Yes, I think she resonates. I'm drawn to her because she was a teen mom too.
Okay.
So once I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. Another teen
Yeah.
mom who did something with herself and didn't have, a village of children at, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like most people would think you would, because that's how some
Right.
people are. But, yeah, so I'm reading her stuff now. So,
Okay. I'm
so
gonna have to put that on my list.
Power Moves. It's an awesome book. All right. Anything else on self care? What I tell people, if you have time to have sex, you got time to do some self care. You got time to
Yep.
journal, 5 minutes or less. Don't make excuses about your kids. Go hide in the closet.
Right.
Go to your car. Go sit in your car. You have places that you could go, or wait till they go to sleep. You
Or go
know,
in your bathroom. Don't
yeah,
nobody
and
bother
lock
you in
the
the
door.
bathroom. Take your book in there and just sit there. My grandmother, her a form of her self care was the word search books. And
Mm.
in her
Mhm.
bathroom, she would have one of those book things beside the toilet. And she have her word search book. Like that was her time, like to get away from all of us. This is my father's mom. To get away from all of us, she would go in the bathroom. And I'm guessing she used in the bathroom. I don't know. But she would have her word search book. She was like,
That was in
that's her
the house.
quiet time. Yeah, that was her quiet time to get away from us.
Yeah, and I bet she was a happier person after that too, huh?
Right.
Yeah, because we all need, even though, there's nothing wrong with someone having a big house full of people. Nothing wrong. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. But no matter who you are, where you come from, what walk of life, you need time to yourself. Very
Yeah.
important. I mean, neither one of us is saying, no, don't you go get your nails done. Don't go get your feet done. But
Right.
while you getting your feet done, write in your journal.
Right. Because it's
You
not
know,
either or, it's both and.
yeah,
I can
yeah,
go get my hair and my nails done
yeah,
and I can take time for me. It's not either or, it's both and. And I think so many people act like it's a either or. Nothing is either or.
no,
Everything is both and.
yeah.
Everything.
Find the time.
Yes.
Invest in your mental health,
Yes.
and it don't always have to be monetary.
No.
Yeah,
No, I agree. But
there's
they're
tons
gonna
of
look at
free
this video
resources.
and know that.
Yeah, because there's tons of free. We are a resource right now. We should be
Yep.
charging for this, but we are, you know, doing our community service right now,
That
educating the
part.
community.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right, so next we're gonna talk about the intersection of mental health and personal growth.
Yes. So I can
Uh-huh.
kick this one off. So with your mental health, I think most people growth gets stunted at a certain time in their life where their mental health becomes challenged. And when your mental health becomes challenged, you don't know how to get over that hump. You don't know how to take that next step. You don't know how to move to what's next, right? You allow yourself to get stunted at that point. And now you're frustrated. Now you're mad. Now you're angry. And guess what? You can't grow in that space. You can't mature in that space. You can't move to the next step in that space. Don't let life, things, and people stunt your growth. Figure out what's going on. And that's why
Time out.
journaling,
Time out.
yep,
Time out. Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
don't
Don't
let
let.
all those things stunt your growth because your mental health is important and you can't grow when you have all those things going on, right? You can't grow. It stunts your growth, and then you get at a point where you get frustrated, you're angry, and you're mad at everybody. And for what? At some point in time, you have to take some control of it. And that's why we have therapy. You have journals. Shanti has a great journal that you can get. You have journals. Sometimes you have to write it out. Everybody can't talk to people because that's just not their thing, right? Especially some old school folks or people that were brought up from old school folks. They're not comfortable with
Mhm.
talking, but you can write it down because you have to clear your mental so that you can grow. And you can't grow if you stunt your mental health. If your mental health is stunted, right? You can't grow because now I'm mad, I'm angry, it's everybody's fault. I can't take responsibility of any of my actions because it's all of y'all fault because y'all doing all of the things and y'all pissing me off and y'all making me mad and you getting in my way. Well, when do you take responsibility and fix it yourself?
Come on.
Therapy is so important. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Therapy is important and is in the stigma upon therapy is horrible. I don't know who created it. I don't know why they created it for our community. You're saying that the whites, the Asians, the Latinos, and well, Latinos are like blacks. So all the other groups, it's okay for them to get therapy and get healed. When in our community, we need it for
Yes.
generational. Go ahead,
Yes.
Sean.
I was gonna say it was our ancestors. What goes on in the house stays in the house. Don't you go telling nobody your business. Going to therapy and psychiatry, that's white people stuff. Black people don't do that. We strong. We were built for this. We can handle this. Suck it up and keep going. Lies, lies. And that's why it is up to us to break that stuff off of us. And
Yes.
we have to talk about it. It's so
Yeah.
important that we talk about it. And it's mainly our African American community, our Latinas, all our brown people, black and brown people, all
There
of
it
us,
is. There it is. Black and
all of
brown.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were taught to be quiet. We
Yes.
were taught to be seen and not heard,
Yep.
and don't go telling nobody our business. But the stuff that we are telling, we need to be quiet about, and the stuff we need to be talking about, we ain't talking about, including our mental
Absolutely.
health. And
Absolutely.
people need to understand that mental health does not mean you are crazy.
No, it does not. And I
It
have to
does not
share that
mean
so
that.
much to people. Like
Hmm.
I found myself having the conversations telling people your mental health just means that there's so much going on and you need to get it out. It has nothing to do with being crazy, has nothing to do with being loony, has nothing to do with any of that. You are human. Your ancestors have passed down generational thoughts, rules, regulations that just doesn't apply today. And
Exactly.
we taking things in 2024 and applying it to 1934. How does that work? Technology is
It
different.
yeah.
We're different. And we need to stop playing like we're in 1934 and act like we're in 2024 and do the right thing. Another thing I want to bring up when we talk about mental health and the manipulation of people, voting is coming up. Voting is extremely important. Stop
Yep.
listening to these people that say, oh, you don't need to vote. You don't have to vote. Voting is not important. Those very people that's telling you that is the same ones that's trying to push you back 100 years. They
Absolutely.
don't want
That's
you to
your
vote.
oppressor right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're changing laws left and right. Roe versus Wade is gone. Affirmative action. Oh my gosh. We're not asking you to give us anything free, but dang it, give me a fair chance. If I'm smart and you get it just because you white, what? No. If I'm smart or if I'm smarter than you, I should be able to get in, right? But no, because you're white, they're gonna
Mhm.
go ahead and give it to you. And I'm not saying it for all people. I'm just saying for these people who we have in these seats who need to be voted out because they're not for all people. They're voted in or manipulated in because they play these games with these elections, and not to take away from their mental health, but it mentally affects us when you do things like, oh, I think it was in Florida a couple of years ago, they had two persons on the ballot that had similar names. And the main person was an African American, then a white person was running, and then they had a third name whose name was similar to the African American name. So that when people went to go vote, it messed up his votes. So he wouldn't have won because you got some people voting for somebody else, and the names are so similar.
Oh my God.
Now, mind you, the person never debated. The person's face was never seen. And when they did an investigation, it was some random person who happened to have a similar name that these Republicans paid to put him on the ballot to do just what it did. Take away the votes from who it was supposed to go to, because now you're splitting these votes, because now you're confusing the people with we're dealing with our mental, we're dealing with 1,000 things. When I go to vote, why are you trying to confuse me? So that was done intentionally. They spend this money intentionally to ruin things for us, and we don't even see it. So the person that won is like, oh no, I won fair and square. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I think as far as voting is concerned, if you cannot debate, you should not be on the ballot, because I need to see who is on that ballot. I don't care who
Right?
you are. If
Show
you
your
can't
face.
debate, yeah. And if you can't show your
You're
face and
right.
you can't debate, you should not be on the ballot.
You're
Should
absolutely
not.
right.
And I
Absolutely
mean, and
right.
I think that's a shame. That is a doggone shame. And voting is important. So I didn't mean to create a whole
No,
segue with that, but I
no,
just
baby. Come on, bring us
but
to church. You go right ahead. Because it is
but I just
very
think with our
important.
mental health, yeah, because with our mental health, they fool with our mental health. So then they have this thing, my vote don't count, my vote don't count.
Yes, it
Every vote
does.
counts,
Every
every
vote
one of them.
counts.
But if
Yes.
you're not voting, that's also a vote. That's a vote for who? The
right?
opposition. So you're
Yeah,
still giving your vote away.
yeah.
At least
That's
show
that's
up at
like
the poll.
no response is a response.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So show up at the polls. Vote. Do your research. Look at your TV. Look at the news. Look at CNN. Look at whatever you need to look at. Vote for somebody. Vote for somebody. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but vote for somebody.
right.
Like,
Just
do
vote.
something.
Yeah. And then those are the same people who are saying that they can't afford or they don't have access to mental health care.
Right.
Your vote matters. And this is one of the reasons why your vote matters. Because, it is up to us to, talk to our congressmen, our senators, our lawmakers to put policies into place. Because
Yep.
they're quick to say they don't have a budget for something.
Yeah. But they quick to send money overseas. They quick to send money to the
Exactly.
Middle East. They quick to
Exactly.
send billions of dollars to all these places. And America is supposed to be the richest country.
Hmm.
And we got the majority of the poorest people
Yep.
here. And they make it so hard for you to be able to do anything. And nobody is seeing these things in the background, right? You want to run a business, but you got 1,000 things going on to be able to run that business. Why? Because they don't really want you to own a business,
Exactly.
right?
Hmm.
And that's all affects your mental health. You want to, be grand. You want to show up. You want to do all the things, but mentally you can't do it because you're constantly seeing them beat you down, knock you down, make all the changes. And guess what? You can't grow. You don't want to learn.
Yeah.
They always say when you know better, you do better. That's a lie. Because even when you know better, you still don't do anything.
Right.
No
You
movement is still
absolutely
movement.
right. Yes. So we're gonna shift on talking about past traumas, which this probably didn't isn't even on the shift, but about how facing your past traumas and learning to set boundaries, how does that contribute to your personal growth?
So, wow, that's a great question. When you think about things that have happened to you as a child, um, that may have hurt, harmed, or did something to you that caused a setback. And as you get older, it can be a smell, a taste, a feeling, seeing something, being around something, the cold, the hot, it could be anything. And that's a trigger,
Yeah,
right? We got to pay attention to these triggers because when you don't pay attention to these triggers, they take you on a journey that you're not ready for.
exactly.
And with those past traumas, they have happened, and then you have these triggers, and now you have to figure out, how can I create this balance? How can I set this boundary? How can I put myself in a situation where this is not taking me out? Because that's what it'll do. That trigger will come, you'll relive that past experience, and that joker will take you out. And then people are like, Shanti, what's wrong? You all right? And you can't even explain.
Okay, hell, I don't know something wrong, but I don't know what it is.
Right. You can't even explain. And it does something to you. And I think people just, they don't understand that. And until they are impacted themselves, a lot of times they don't get it. And then when you're trying to share with them, listen, oh, I just had a deja vu. I just had a trigger. They act like they don't understand what triggers mean. They act like they don't understand what
Amen.
deja vu means. They act like they don't
Amen.
understand when you say, listen, I need a minute. Respect me enough to give me that minute. Respect me enough to give me some time to get myself together because of what's happened. Now it's being triggered. Now I got to find that balance. Because if I don't, listen, somebody gonna catch something in a minute. You might be catching these hands, you might be catching this mouth because I might rip you a new one. Give me a minute to get myself together.
Yeah. But a lot of times people don't know that they're going through that. They have no clue. They don't know. And that's why it's important for you to get around like-minded people, get around community, get around people who are not where you are in a sense, but has been there, done that kind of, so they can help bring you up.
Yes.
Basically, you cannot heal by yourself. For
Nope.
anybody who thinks they can heal by themselves, no, you cannot. You can't.
No.
You
What you
need to
end up
be
doing is repeating the trauma. You're
yes.
constantly repeating the
Exactly.
trauma. You don't even have to worry about the trigger because you yourself are constantly repeating that trauma because you haven't gotten out of it. You've got to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You have to have a conversation. And listen, for anybody that doesn't think about therapy as a solution, you should. Because
Yeah.
with a therapist, whatever you talk to them about is between you and them. They
Yes,
are
it's confidential.
non-biased, right?
Mm-hmm.
Non-biased, confidential, and that is between you and them. And you'd be surprised how it will help. My best friend, who I absolutely love, who is no longer here with us, she said she loves sitting on the couch. Okay. She said she loves sitting on the couch. And I didn't understand it back then. And I was like, what do you mean? She said she loves sitting on the couch. Right. And that gave her a sense of release.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Not that
exactly
it
what
goes
it is.
away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So what
it
do
does.
you do when a trigger happens for you, Shanti? How do you handle it and what do you do?
Ooh, baby, I do a lot of stuff. So I do pray. I pray about it. I journal about it. I talk about it more so lately. I've been talking about it,
Good.
or expressing myself in some kind of way, just to get it out. I do grounding, so I go outside, get barefoot, walk in the grass, and I release it, let it go, and all of that
Good.
stuff helps. It helps so much, and I just cannot stress enough that you know anyone listening, follow these instructions. It's not
Please.
hard. It's not
You know what?
hard.
Let's do this experiment so they can see a
Oh,
visual. You ready?
yes. Yes. I didn't cut mine up into little pieces.
You
I,
didn't?
I still got the whole thing. That's all right. Hold on. Okay, what we doing?
So I'm gonna explain to everybody. So listen, when I talk about boundaries and I talk about life, right? How it comes at you like a Mack truck, boom, and it's just happening, right? You don't have any boundaries in place. You don't have your place and your mental. You don't have anything set up to protect you. And so I take you through this experiment so you can see. So we'll say this paper right here is you, right? This is you, right? Then we have a container. You got your container over there, Shanti?
I got a bottle of water.
Boom, that'll work too. So I put a container in here so I can put it up close to the camera, but a bottle of water is absolutely the go-to. And you don't have to use a whole bottle of water, but this right here is life, your mental health, your stunting and your personal growth, all the things that's happening, right? So here we go. We're gonna take this container, just regular water. We're gonna pour some water in here. Drink a little bit too.
I know, girl. All this good talking. Gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha,
So we're
gotcha.
gonna take this piece of paper and we're gonna fold it up. This is you. This is you. We're folding it up because you're dealing with life. You're dealing with all the situations. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with your mental health. You're dealing with your personal growth. You're dealing with your boundaries. You're dealing with your triggers. Dealing with all of that. And all of that is this cup of water. And this is you. We're gonna drop you inside this water. Can you
So
see?
we're the dissolvable paper.
Yes. And I'm
Okay.
gonna put the top on it. And look at this. Can you tell? Let me move my hand out the way. This
Yeah,
is
I can
you.
see it.
And this is what happens to you, right? This is what happens to you. You get so engulfed in all the things that guess what? You lose yourself. Just like we done lost this piece of paper, it's no longer here. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
one more just so y'all can see it. So y'all can see it again. Here's the paper. I'm gonna fold it up again, right? Because that's what we do. We get real tight with all the things that's going on in our lives. Then I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in here because this is lifing. I'm gonna go ahead and put this
Hmm.
top on it. And guess what? Sometimes life be chaos and doing like this.
Yes, indeed.
And guess what? You see it? Paper is
Yeah.
gone.
Paper's gone. Yeah.
See? And that's what happens to you when you take on all the things. When you take on all the things and you don't focus on you, you don't take care of you, you don't put you first, you're doing all the self maintenance, right? Because you the bomb.com
You're,
coming out the
you're
house.
looking good,
But in the
but
inside, you're
you're
torn to a
raggedy.
thousand pieces, right? Raggedy as I don't know what.
Raggedy on the
Just
inside.
all torn up. But when you talk about this self-care, that takes care of you from the inside out. So that way your inside can match that outside. That self-care is necessary. Shanti has a journal. Journal. It's important. Write it down and go back and read it later. See how you
Yes,
have grown from the time you began journaling to whatever the current date is. See
that's
how
the
you've grown.
purpose. Yeah, for
Yeah,
growth.
see how you progressed. There you go. And that way you're not stuck. And when those triggers come, right? You'll know when you're healed when those triggers happen and you're not triggered. You're not ready to be like, I'm about to throw these hands or I'm about to
Okay, because
smash.
that's our first thing that come to our mind. We want to fight. Everything
Yeah.
ain't about fighting, you know.
Mm-mm.
Especially when you up in age, you too old for that. You know,
Absolutely.
you can only control yourself. You can't control what anybody else says, what anybody else does, and that's where anxiety comes in. It worrying about stuff
Right.
you can't control.
That's right.
So
You can only control your response to what they do. And guess what? You don't have to respond.
you sure don't. You do not. Just like my pastor says, you don't have to RSVP for every argument you get invited to.
Right.
Ignore that.
Absolutely.
Argue for
Absolutely.
what? So if so many
Yeah.
people would just, take heed of that and not, displace their own personal insecurities and traumas onto other people and just go get help. There's nothing wrong with
Yes.
you to
Nope.
wanting to go get help. Nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. If anything, it'll make you a better person for yourself and the people around you. Because I know,
Yeah.
if you are in your healing process and your people around you aren't, either they're gonna go away from you because you acting weird, or they're gonna want to join you in that process. So because they see you're growing, you glowing, you are maturing. So that's important for you to just be quiet and go get healed. Go get you some healing. Can you hear me okay, Keisha? You on mute? Mute. You playing with your headphones again?
You can see me.
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up, but tell us about your book.
So my book is titled Not Your
You
Journey to
better
Take.
grab that book.
So my book is titled Not Your Journey to Take: How to Maintain and Persevere Your Lifestyle After Your Loved One's Incarceration. Incarceration isn't always prison or jail. Incarceration can be a number of things. Incarceration can just be what's going on in your life. Everything that we've talked about today can be a form of incarceration. So my book talks about that and it tells you how to, put a lid on it, right? You got to listen, you got to identify, you got to define and decide how to correct that thing. And then I also have a workbook. The workbook helps you to work through those things, right? To help you work through those traumas, to help you work through those triggers, help you to work through your loved one situation that you have taken on as yours, where you don't have to, because we discussed earlier that one, if you can't control it and you have no skin in the game, if it has nothing to do with you, let it go. Because
Yeah.
guess what? Your loved one got to learn their lesson, and they can't learn their lesson with you being Captain Save Your Loved One. You can't do that. You got to let them learn.
I love how you politically correctly say that because that ain't what I be saying. But I got it. Do you see any questions in the comments area? I don't see any on my end.
I don't see any either. And I wonder if it's because we are on multiple platforms that we don't see it. I just see on Instagram, I just seen a few people join and watching us, but I don't
I
see
can't even
any
see
questions.
that. So that's fine. So tell the people where we can find you. I know where I can find you, but tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, yes, yes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn at notyourjourneytotake.com. You can go to my website at KeishaMasonCampbell.com. You can order my book also at KeishaMasonCampbell.com. And I also am a coach, a certified life coach as well. And I am a transformational coach in addition to that, because Not Your Journey to Take helps you with figuring out your journey and helping you to get on a path that is for you, that where you can take care of you and not getting lost in everybody else's situation, right? Learn how to put you first, learn that no is a complete sentence, and learn how to put a lid on it.
Yes, girl, you better put a lid on it. So, as for me, my name is Shanti Refuge. I'm a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author. And I too have a book called Quiet as Kept. And this book is about my journey, my story from childhood all the way up until the year 2018 when I had a nervous breakdown. And I paired it with a journal, healing planner, and journal because this book is going to probably trigger somebody, and I don't want that to happen. This is going to be your tool to use while you're writing it and to help you to overcome, to start your healing journey, to start, addressing those things that, you've been sitting back here. So I got them both. You can get them from shantirefuge.com. I also have a line of guided journals. The guided journals that I have are different topics for whatever issue you want to talk about: self esteem, self love, self awareness, unpacking emotional baggage. I have guided journals for men. I have couples journals for to improve your communication. I have prayer journals if you want to reestablish or improve or your relationship and your prayer life with God. I also have manifestation guided journals if you want to manifest your best life. So you have no excuse. The two
None.
of us powerhouses sitting here, y'all looking at us. Come
Yes.
and reach out. And I also offer coaching. I have a group coaching program called Staying Stuck Ain't Cute, and I also offer one-on-one coaching. So you have two coaches right here, two people who've been there, done that, still going through it, but we know how to navigate. And
Yes.
if you're watching, then that means, you've been watching this long. Come on, connect with us. You can find me, Shanti Refuge Journals on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm Shanti Refuge on LinkedIn. And again, my website is shantirefuge.com. So you have no excuse. You have two beautiful resources right here. You have
Yes.
any questions, reach out to either one or both. And let us help you help yourself to be better.
Absolutely. I'm a believer of that. Let us help you help yourself. All you have to do is reach out. Take the step, take the first step, and we
Yeah.
got you from there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Keisha. I enjoyed you. This has been a
Thank you,
long time
Shanti.
coming. I'm finally glad that we were able to connect. We're going to have to do
Yes,
this again. We're
we
going to have
are.
to do this again.
I
So,
agree.
thank you to those who have watched us, and you will be able to watch the replay on both of our social media. So, you're going to be seeing these faces a lot because they're
Yes,
going to be
Shanti,
on
thank you so
all our
much for having
platforms.
me.
Thank you, honey. You enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will
You
talk
too as
soon.
well. Yes, everybody have a great evening. Thank you for joining us.
Bye,
Bye bye.
y'all.